Good morning, all of you. Welcome to accountancy class. I hope you all are safe at your home and you all have studied your last class. Today, we are going to discuss some points that you are able to see on the screen. These are the basic points that we are going to discuss today. These are meaning of accounting, objective of accounting, types of accounting, process of accounting, advantages of accounting, limitations of accounting. Out of these 6 points, 2 points we have discussed in our last class, that is meaning of accounting and process of accounting. So in today's class, our first point is objectives of accounting, that why accounting is important or why accounting is done in every kind of business. So as you are able to see, our first point in the objective of accounting is to keep systematic record of business transactions. In every kind of business, it is necessary to keep systematic record of business transactions. Otherwise, at the end of the year, you will not able to get the position of the business, what is going on in your business, you will not able to get it if you don't have any record of your transactions. So first and most important point is here that accounting is done in a business to keep systematic record of business transactions. Second point is here to calculate profit or loss. If you have all the records of your business transactions, that how much is the expense of the year, how much is the income of the year, then easily you can calculate profit or loss. Profit or loss will be calculated at the end of the year. And that can only be done with the help of records. If you have proper maintained your all the accounts, then easily you can calculate profit and loss. And this is the part of accounting. Third point is to ascertain financial position. What is the meaning of financial position first? That at the end of the year, what is the position of the business? How much cash balance you have? What are the assets you have in your business? What are the liabilities that you have to pay in future? So these all points will tell your financial position. Now in each statement, I used two terms, assets and liabilities. You may get confused in this that what are the meanings of assets and liabilities, because these are the new terms for you. So first of all, let me clear the meaning of assets and liabilities. Assets are the things by which you can get cash in the future. Like I'm giving you example of your home, that at your house you have some assets like fridge or furniture, almirah, TV. So these all things are your assets. How? That in future if you need any payment, so you can sell these things or you can get cash. Means you can convert your assets in money whenever you need it. If you have bank balance, so that is also a type of assets. If you have cash at your home, so that is also a type of assets. Means assets are all those things that give you cash in the future. One point that we discussed in the last class, debtors. I think you all remember this word. The debtors are our customers. We are selling them goods on credit. So they will also pay us in future. So they are also assets for us. Now assets may be divided in two parts, fixed assets or current assets. What will be the meaning of fixed assets and current assets? Just I am showing you. Yes. So see here, you will have assets of two kinds, fixed assets and current assets. As the name is denoting here, fixed, that fixed assets are kept in a business for a long time, while current assets are kept only for a short time. You can say that current assets are in a business only for 1 year or less than 1 year, but fixed assets are kept in a business for more than 1 year, or you can say minimum till 5 years. So current assets, in current assets you can tell examples like cash balance. If you have cash balance at your home, so that is your current assets. How? Because you can use that cash balance anywhere or anytime whenever you need it. Bank balance, if you have deposited your cash into bank, so that is also a kind of current assets, because within 1 day 2 days you can get that bank balance, or you can use your bank balance. Suppose that you have to pay loan to someone, or if you don't have money in cash, so you can use your bank balance, or you can pay by check also. So cash balance is a kind of current assets, bank balance is kind of current assets. Debtors, as we already discussed, the debtors will pay you within 1 year. So debtors are also a type of current assets. So these are some important current assets, or you can include in this stock. Suppose that stock is there in your business, so easily you can convert your stock in cash within 1 year. So current assets are those assets that can be converted into cash within 1 year. On the opposite side of current assets, fixed assets. Fixed assets, like in this we will include land. Like if you have plot, so you will not sell your plot regularly. That is kept in a business for long time. So these will included in fixed assets. Building. If you are running any kind of business, so you may have a building. So that building is your fixed assets, because you will not sell your building regularly. Apart from land and building, you can include in this machineries. Whatever machinery you are using for production in your business, so that is also a kind of fixed assets. Furniture. Furniture is also kind of fixed assets. In any kind of business, any assets is used for long time, so that will be fixed assets. On the opposite of this, suppose that you have business of furnitures, means it's your regular activity that you are selling furniture or you are purchasing furniture. So in that condition, furniture will not be your fixed assets. In that condition, it may be your current assets, because you are doing regular activity of purchasing and selling the furnitures. So fixed assets, we will include those assets which are not for daily selling or purchasing, which are kept in a business for long use, and current assets that will convert into cash within 1 year. That will be your current assets. So these are the two important points of assets. One more point I want to discuss you, investments. I think you everybody know about investment. Let me clear some more points about investments. Investment also may be of two kinds: long term investments and short term investments. Again, the point is here, long term investment that will be for more than 1 year, and short term investment that will be for 1 year. In investment, you can take examples like if you are depositing your money into bank, so that is also a kind of investment. In bank, there are a lot type of investment. like FD, that is fixed deposits. So fixed deposit is for long time, so that is a kind of long term investment. If you are depositing your money, that will give you return within 1 year, so that will be a short term investment. So investments may be both types, long term and short term. If your investment is for short term, then it can be included in current assets, or you can write here current investments. But if your investment is for long term, then it will be non-current investment. Fixed word can be replaced by non-current. Non-current and fixed both are same. So you can use your assets also like non-current assets and current assets. Okay. Let's see about fixed assets more. As I told you about fixed assets, that fixed assets are for long time. So fixed assets are also divided into two parts: tangible assets or intangible assets. What are the meanings of tangible and intangible? Tangible assets are those assets that can be seen or touched, like land, building, furniture, machinery. These all are kind of tangible assets because we can see these assets, we can touch these assets easily. They have any physical existence, but intangible assets cannot be seen or cannot be touched. Like in this, you can include license. If you have any license, if you have any patent, any trademark, any copyright, so that things are not visible or that cannot be touched. So these will be a type of intangible assets. Goodwill. Goodwill. What is the meaning of goodwill? What is your popularity? That is also a kind of intangible assets. Now your question may be here that how can we measure our goodwill? How can we measure our goodwill? Goodwill can be measured only when your business is going to sell. If your business is going continue, you cannot measure your goodwill, but when you are selling your business, at that time you can measure your goodwill. Suppose that any person is selling his business and he has assets of 10 lakh rupees. Try to know my point carefully. A person is there who is selling his business and he has assets of 10 lakh rupees only, but he is selling his business in 15 lakh. He is selling his business in 15 lakh, but he has assets of only 10 lakh. So the remaining 5 lakh rupees will be the goodwill of the business. Are you getting my point? So these will be a kind of intangible assets. So these were two types of fixed assets, tangible or intangible. Tangible assets can be touched or seen, but intangible assets cannot be touched or seen. Okay? Let's move on. So we were in the point of objectives. Third point was to ascertain financial position. So financial position meaning that at the end of the year, you want to know what are the assets of your business or what are the liabilities of the business. Liabilities are just opposite to assets. Assets were those things that will give you cash in the future, but liabilities are those things that you have to pay in the future. Like if you are taking loan from any bank, so you have to pay that loan in the future with interest. So that bank loan will be your liability. In the same way, if you are purchasing any goods from any supplier on credit, so in future you have to pay to that supplier that will be your liability. So liabilities are those things that you have to pay in the future. Okay, let's move on. Fourth point, to check the progress of the business. With the help of proper accounting, you can check the progress of your business, that compared to last year, what is your profit or what is your loss. Like suppose that in the last year if you got profit of 10 lakh rupees and this year you are getting profit of 15 lakh rupees. So easily you can check that 5 lakh rupees is the progress of your business. But if you don't do any proper accounting, so that is not possible that you can check the progress of your business, because you don't know that what was the profit last year. So how can you check the progress? So it is compulsory for a business to do proper accounting so that he can check the progress of business. The last point of objective is to provide information to various parties. Various parties means there are some person who are taking interest in your business. They want information from your business, that what is the condition of your business, what are the assets of your business, what are the liabilities of your business. So what are these parties? These parties may be like banks, because bank will provide you loan. So obviously they have to check that what is the condition of your business. Without checking your status, bank will not provide you loan. So you have to provide information to banks, to investors. Investors means who are giving you money or who are investing in your business. Who are investing their money into your business, they want the information of your business, that what is the profit report of this business. If your company, if your business is going in loss, then the investors will not invest in your business. So banks, investors, government, government will also need your information for calculating taxes. So these are some users, these are some parties, to them you have to provide information. Okay, so these were some objective of accounting, that why in a business accounting is important. In simple words, you can say that without accounting, we cannot do anything in the business. Now our next point is there, types of accounting. What are the types of accounting? First point is financial accounting, that we will study in class 11th and 12th. Second point is cost accounting. Third, management accounting. Fourth, tax accounting. And the last is social responsibility accounting. Out of these 5 accountings, we will study in class 11th and 12th only financial accounting. The remaining 4 kinds we will study in graduation or post graduation. So financial accounting, that will be fully related to finance. As we are discussing that we will learn to make accounts, we will learn to calculate profit and losses of the business. Just we want to know the financial position of the business or profit or loss condition, that full things will be recorded, will be included in your financial accounting. Cost accounting, as the name is denoting here, that it will calculate cost, means mostly it is used in factories, because in factories manufacturing work is there. So most of all cost accounting is important in factories. They have to calculate cost of their products, because after calculating cost they can ascertain their profit, they can ascertain their sales price. Management accounting, it is related to management of a business, that will be management accounting. Tax accounting, it is related to taxes. For calculating taxes, full calculation of taxes will be done in tax accounting. Social responsibility accounting, as you know that social workers are important in every aspect of business. If your society is not satisfied from your business work, then it will be a difficult work for you to grow your business. So social responsibility accounting includes to complete all the responsibility related to society. So these are 5 types. Just you have to know more about financial accounting because it will be usable for you in class 12th, 11th and 12th, but remaining 4 parts are not usable for you right now. Just you have to know the names and meanings of these accountings, because in exam question can be asked to you that what are the types of accounting or explain their meaning. So you should know about the meanings and names of these accounting. Just you don't have to go deeply about this. Okay, let's move on the next point. Yes, our next point is here, bookkeeping and accounting. Accounting is a familiar word for you because you have already studied for it, but bookkeeping is a new word for you. But bookkeeping is a very easy point. How? Here I am showing you IMRC SAC. I think you everybody know this. I means identification of business transactions. M, measuring the transactions in terms of money. R, recording that is done in journal. C, classifying that is done in ledger. S, summarizing that is done in 3 statements: trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. A, analysis and interpreting, or C, communicating to user. These 7 process we have discussed in last class. So out of these 7 steps, the first 4 steps are called in bookkeeping, or the remaining 3 steps included accounting. Means bookkeeping includes only keeping the book records properly. You have to identify the transaction, measuring them in terms of money, recording and classifying. Till here your bookkeeping process ends. Where bookkeeping ends, accounting starts. After classifying, just you have to know the full summary of the business. This process of knowing the summary will called accounting. Summarizing, analysis and communicating to users. These 3 steps will be called accounting, and first 4 steps will be called bookkeeping. Let's know the difference between bookkeeping and accounting first. I am showing you some major differences between both points. Right now you may not have book, so you can take screenshot if you find any notes necessary for you. So see here are 8 differences point between bookkeeping and accounting. See the first point, nature of work. Bookkeeping is mainly involved in recording, classifying and summarizing the economic events in the books of accounts. But accounting mainly involves the preparation of financial statements and the analysis thereof in order to know the financial performance and financial status of an entity. In simple way, you can say that bookkeeping includes identification, measuring, recording and classifying, and accounting includes summarizing, analysis and communicating to users. Second point, required skill. Bookkeeping does not require any analytical skill. It is governed by the principle of double entry system. Now, what is the principle of double entry system? You may get confused in this point. So we will discuss about this in later class. Right now, just note this point that bookkeeping does not require any analytical skill. But accounting work involves analytical ability to interpret the results shown in the financial statements prepared. In simple way, you can understand this point like this, that bookkeeping can be done by less knowledgeable person also. Means like if any person has completed only graduation or any less education, so that person can also do the bookkeeping work, but accounting work requires full skills. Accounting work cannot be done by any less knowledgeable person. It requires high skills, it requires good knowledge. Third point, objective. Proper maintenance of the economic events of an entity in a systematic manner is the basic objective of bookkeeping. What is the objective of bookkeeping? Proper maintenance of economic events in a systematic manner. This is the objective of bookkeeping. And ascertaining of financial performance and assessment of financial status of an entity is the main objective of accounting. Accounting gives you proper financial position or financial performance of the business. Bookkeeping is the primary stage, whereas accounting is the secondary stage. Scope of work. Bookkeeping gives only the foundation of accounting work so that financial statements can be prepared on the basis of recorded data. Means bookkeeping will give you only the foundation of accounting work, while accounting prepares the financial statements on the basis of data recorded in the bookkeeping process. Bookkeeping gives you only foundation, while accounting gives you all the financial statements. Bookkeeping work can be performed by the junior staff as it does not require expert knowledge in the field. As I already told you that bookkeeping can be done by any junior staff, but work of accounting requires expert knowledge, and this work is usually done by the senior staff of the entity. Accounting work can be done only by the senior staff because it requires expert knowledge. The work of bookkeeping does not depend on the accounting work, but accounting work is dependent on the completion of bookkeeping work. As I told you that where bookkeeping ends, accounting starts. So bookkeeping is not depend on accounting, but accounting is depend on bookkeeping, because if you do not have done your bookkeeping work, so accounting cannot be done. The last point, bookkeeping work is guided by the principle of double entry system, while accounting work is guided by different accounting standards and guidance notes issued by the competent authority. This point I will discuss in later class because it will have a wider term. So these are some basic distinction points between bookkeeping and accounting. I hope you all understood about the things that we discussed in class, like objective of accounting, types of accounting, and difference between bookkeeping and accounting. As we discussed about fixed assets, current assets, investments, tangible assets, intangible assets, these all points that we covered in today's class. So just discuss, just learn and study about these all points, and rest of the things we will discuss in next class. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe.